Hi everyone, Debbie here. I thought I would take a moment and share with you a few tips for building a sense of safety in our body, within our system. This is really important to establish when we're looking at creating really nourishing rest. We need to have that solid foundation of feeling safe first and foremost, to really support the body to release and relax and rest. So 4 quick little tips that I've found that can help. There's a whole bunch more, but 4 little quick ones that I've found can help. Number 1, when you're doing any meditation practices or anything like that, anything where you're working on creating that sense of deep rest, you want to sit actually not the way that I am now with a gap behind you. You want to sit so that you're up against a wall, so that you've got that sense of like being cocooned or being protected by the room itself. It's great if you can be in a room where there's a door that you can close and you can communicate with anybody that you might live with to not interrupt you for that period of time. And as I say, to be positioned in such a way that you've got a wall behind you, so you know that no one can walk around behind you. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to actually take a moment and look around your space. One of the ways that we know whether we're safe or we know whether there's potential danger is through sight. Oftentimes when we're doing meditation practices or deep rest practices, we jump straight into closing our eyes. Now, closing our eyes is great because it does help us turn inwards more, and it does cut off that extra visual stimulus and allow us to focus on our inner world and drop in a little more. So it is great. However, to actually build our sense of safety, we really want to actually take some time to consciously look around our space first. Slow it down. We don't want to sort of just do that. We want to really slow it down and take time to actually take in the space. Perhaps noticing the colors, noticing the light. You might like to notice textures. You might not like to notice what draws your attention more. Just really taking in that this is a safe space for you. Taking that moment to slow it down and consciously look. And then when you feel that you're ready, you may choose to close your eyes. I would always recommend that you check in with yourself before you do that. Sometimes it may be that the message that you're getting is to do that meditation or do that practice with the eyes open, and that's perfectly fine. It's great if you can take that moment to check in. Tip number 3, we want to be as comfortable as we can be. Now, obviously, if you're somebody that's dealing with chronic illness, I know myself from having been on a journey with chronic illness that it can be challenging sometimes to feel a sense of comfort. You might be experiencing pain or tension, contraction, fatigue, various different sensations that just might be a little uncomfortable in the body. So we don't want to create like another layer of strain or stress around trying to get comfortable. We just want to do what we know that we can within this moment to create as much comfort as possible. So that might be having extra pillows. It might be having a blanket or a rug that feels nice for you. It might be having weight on you even. It might be, in one moment, it might be sitting up like this. In another moment, it might be, lying down and being completely supported. And it's really okay to move and shift and change throughout our practices. We don't have to stay completely still and locked in and struggling against ourselves with a particular practice. We can flow with what messages we're getting and what we need to do to be the most comfortable in that moment. So that's tip number 3. And then tip number 4 is really about building that sense of our inner safety. And there's all sorts of practices that we can do for this. There's practices where we visualize and actually go into a detailed exploration of creating what our safe haven or sanctuary looks like, feels like, sounds like, and inhabiting that. There's practices that we can do that bring our sense of self more deeply into the body and more tethered within the body, so we feel that sense of grounding rather than being quite so easily moved around by life circumstances. And there's practices that we can actually do with self-soothing and creating that sense of nourishing ourselves. So there's a wide variety, and different things will work for different people. One of the things that I've found is that it can be great to explore a bunch of different meditations to get a sense about which ones work the best for you so that you can use those regularly, and then also still stretch yourself to try some others that aren't perhaps your natural tendencies, just to create that sense of wholeness and enable you to start stretching into some new spaces. We will explore some different meditations within the Nourishing Rest classes. We will explore meditations across a variety of different, what we call modalities. So some people, for example, are more visual. Some people are more auditory. Some people are more kinesthetic, so more to do with sensations and feeling the body. So we'll explore a bunch of different types of meditation so that you can get more of a sense of perhaps what your primary modality is and what might work the best for you. So I hope that's given you at least a little bit of a taste of some of the things that you can do to start supporting yourself to feel that, have that experience of safety. If you'd like to have a further chat with me about the classes and see whether they would be a good fit for you, please do reach out. You can send me an email at debbieamos@pepandverve.com, and perhaps include your phone number in that if you feel comfortable to. That way I can give you a quick call and we can just have a casual chat and I can answer any questions that you have. Equally, if you know already that you would love to join us for one or all of those classes, please reach out via that same email address, so debbieamos@pepandverve.com, and I'll send you the Zoom link to join the class. They'll all be running online via Zoom, and give you the details to make the payment for the class. I look forward to sharing these practices with you, and so that we can all enjoy some true, nourishing, deep rest. Bye for now.